Good morning, all of you. So now today's class, we are going to see the next concept is transmission of traits. That's how this characteristics or traits are transmitted to progeny. So what do you mean by progeny? Anybody? I already taught. Yes, please. What do you mean by progeny? Progeny means what, guys? Progeny means what? That's what is my question. Yes, please. Progeny means anybody? Offsprings. So if I take either it is the plants or animals, we all notice it. The characters at least what we used to call another name of characteristics. Anybody?
Traits.
Traits. So how these traits are transmitting during sexual reproduction? That is what is our today's concept. Means from parents to offsprings. Parents to offsprings or progeny, how it is carrying the characteristics or traits. That is what is we are going to study. So let us see. For that only we can make a topic name is transmission of traits. So transmission of traits will take place from where to where, guys? From parents to offsprings or parents to progeny always. So progeny means offsprings. I already taught you, just check it. Okay. So now let us see, all of you, how these characters will go to the parents to the offsprings, who is exactly carrying. This is all we are going to discuss now. So if you see all the living organisms, if you take plants or animals or whomever it is, basically they will produce their own kinds. So their own kinds means the similar structure, similar characteristics of their own. Means if I take your parents, you are the baby who is representing your parents. If I take me, I am representing my parents. If I take any plant, small plant, plantlet is representing the plant. Like that, all the living organisms, they will produce their own kind, similar kind of things. So there must be some common thing that makes an offspring similar to its parents. So what is that? That is what we used to call it as genes. So offsprings are similar to its parents. Either it is asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction, but of course we are talking about only sexual reproduction. So who makes this similar to its parents? That is what offsprings or progeny is. That is what we used to say, a scientific term. We call it as a trait, or we used to say character. So what characteristics, who makes or what makes the traits or characteristics that are passed from parents to the offsprings during what? Asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction? Everybody? During sexual reproduction. So only we are talking about sexual reproduction. So entire things, Mendel's everywhere, it is purely sexual reproduction only. So these traits are transferred from parents to the offsprings through the sexual reproduction with the help of genes who are located, which is located on their chromosomes. So these chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of the cell. So these nucleus contains the chromosomes, and these chromosomes are contains the genes, And these genes are responsible for transmission of traits or characteristics from parents to everybody, parents to offsprings. Clear, everyone? So now, what are these genes? So who is responsible for transmission of traits? Everybody? Who is
Genes.
responsible for transmission of traits? Genes. So what is this genes? What are these genes? Let us discuss now. So if I have taken basically any kind of a cell, we used to study what is the most important part of the cell, everybody. The cell is containing something inside. What is that, all of you?
Nucleus. Nucleus.
So this nucleus is containing a thread-like structures. The thread-like structures only we used to call it as, yes please, chromosomes. Understand?
Chromosome.
Basically these chromosomes, we used to say it is actually DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So this is what basically we used to say a cellular DNA, which is present inside the nucleus of a cell. A cellular DNA is the information source for making proteins in the cell. Remember everybody, the cellular DNA is the information source. Information source for making what, everybody? For making proteins in the cell. These proteins only basically what, everybody? These proteins only we used to call it as a what, everyone? Yes, please, genes. Do you understand? So, if I take a DNA, for example, so let me show you the chromosomes. So if I take any kind of a chromosome, basically inside the nucleus, if you all notice it, everybody, I'm zooming and I'm showing you. Inside the nucleus, the thread-like structures, what you are saying, that is what we used to call it as. What we used to say, everybody? We used to call it as a DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So now, this entire thing is, we used to say DNA. Now you can notice it. This one thread-like structure, what is that call it as? Everybody? Chromosomes. Do you understand it? So on the chromosomes, you can see they're zooming and they're making. This is the material which is present here. That is only we used to say DNA. Actually, it is the proteins. Now, a section of DNA, if I take a particular part of this DNA, which provides the information for protein, that is what we used to call it as a genes. You can take here down. A segment of DNA, a particular part of a DNA, we used to call it as a what? Everybody? Yes, please. That is only we used to call it as gene. So that is why these genes are the units of heredity. So heredity, what is another word we used to call it as? Heredity we used to say.
Inheritance.
Inheritance. So the segment of a DNA, which we used to call it as a gene, these are the units of heredity. So they are located in they are located on chromosomes, you can see. So chromosomes are the carriers of genes. You can all notice it. So they have been all located, even we can mention a word, call it as a linear fashion. So they have been, all the genes are located on the chromosomes. That is why we will say chromosomes are the what actually? Carriers of genes. So these are located where, guys? Within the cell nucleus. So inside the nucleus of the cell, they have been located. So that is the location of chromosomes. So in normal condition, if you have taken, for example, what will happen exactly you can see. So each gene has, if you take any kind of a gene, what do you mean by gene, everybody? So please write that. That is also very important. a section of DNA, what is the full form of DNA, everybody? Deoxyribonucleic acid. The section of DNA on a chromosome, which provides information, for protein. Basically, DNA is made up of proteins. For proteins is called gene. So, if I take normal characteristics, please all of you remember, in a normal condition, each gene has two alternative forms of character, which is producing different effects. So if you take here, that alternative forms of a gene is only we used to call it as alleles. So once again, I'm saying, remember, normal conditions, if you have taken normal condition, you all can observe very carefully. So two alternative forms of a character, which is basically producing in two different effects. That alternative forms of DNA is only ways to call it each character. For each character, each gene has two alternative forms. So that is what we used to call it as a alleles. So what is the two? Anybody? We all people knows. For each gene, normal condition, two guys. What is that? One is recessive allele. Another one is what? Anybody?
Dominant allele.
That is one. So dominant alleles. So for each character on a normal condition, each gene has two alternative forms. One is dominant alleles, another one is what? Recessive alleles.
Recessive.
So if you take any kind of organisms like humans, basically we used to say humans are called it as, if you take any kind of a gene in humans, we used to call it as a diploid. Di means what? Anybody? Di means what? Everyone? Two. So humans are called it as a diploid organisms. So diploid organism, like humans, many organisms we can take, many animals also diploid organisms. So if you see all the chromosomes present in, how guys, single or pairs? Anybody? You all can notice it. In humans, all the chromosomes present in single or pair, you all can notice it. This is single and this is also one. So how they are present? You can see everything. They are present how? Single or pair? Anybody? They are present single or pair, guys, chromosomes in a diploid organisms. Here you see this much big structure I am showing you. Is it a pair or single? You can see. Either one. So both we used to call it as a pair or single. Anybody? It is pair. Okay. So always remember, all the genes are always in what? Pairs only. So no gene is existed alone. So each characteristic has how many alleles? Everybody? Each trait which has how many alleles? Please respond. We has two alleles. So one is what, everybody? One is dominant allele and another one is what? Yes, please. Recessive allele. So that is, now you can see how they are located. Keep it in mind. One recessive allele, for example, recessive allele is present in this chromosome, then dominant allele is present in this chromosome. Do you understand, Mitakshi, what I am saying? Harish? If some
Yes, sir.
recessive allele is present, the dominant allele is present in this chromosome, then recessive allele is present in this chromosome. That is what. So each characteristic has two alleles, each present on one chromosome. So one allele is present on this chromosome, another allele is present on this chromosome. Please note it. That is why we can say two alleles of a pair are always located at the same position of the chromosome pair. Suppose here one character allele is present, either it is a recessive allele, then exactly opposite here the same character dominant allele is located. Suppose here one character allele is present, either it is a recessive or dominant, then exactly opposite the same position dominant allele is located. Do you understand everyone, guys? So both, you can see all the two alleles of a pair are always located at the same position on the chromosome. Please note it, everyone. Same position on the chromosome pair. Clear, everyone? So each gene has how many alternative forms, everybody? Each gene has how many alternatives, everyone? Gene has two alternative forms. Two. Okay. So two alternative forms of a character. Character also we can call it as trait. For what purpose? Character producing different allele. So what is the two alleles it will produce? Everybody? One character, two alleles it will produce. What is the different two alleles? Anyone? That alternate
Dominant.
forms only we used to call it as alleles. What is that alleles we used to call? The alternative forms is only we used to call alleles. One is the recessive allele, another one is what? Everybody? Dominant allele.
Dominant.
Clear? So write it, everyone. Now, in sexual reproduction, we are talking about only sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction, how many parents are involving? One parent or two parents? Everyone? Yes, please. Two parents. So both the parents contribute equal to the DNA of progeny during sexual reproduction. So most important, for example, tallness, if I have taken. So tallness, if I have taken, father will donate one gene, and mother also will donate only one gene. So that if it comes to the progeny means offspring. So when it will comes to the progeny, regarding the height, how many chromosomes will come, how many genes will come for baby? 1 plus 1, how many? One pair of gene. Do you understand, everyone? So the sex cells containing how many characteristics? Basically, the general body contains the pair of genes, but the sex cells contains how many genes? Only single gene for single character. Do you understand what I'm saying? So both the parents always contribute equal to the DNA of a progeny during sexual reproduction. Means each parent will contribute copy of the same gene. If father will donate the tallness gene, then mother also will donate the tallness gene. So if father will donate any other color hair, suppose regarding curly hair, then regarding the texture of the hair, then mother also one gene will donate. So during the sexual reproduction, the contribution of male and female parents is exactly the same copy of the same gene. They will donate, like you can see, equally they will contribute to the DNA of progeny during sexual reproduction. That is what you have to remember. So basically, one chromosome contains how many genes? Anybody? Suppose now you can take one chromosome contains how many genes? Anybody can tell? One chromosome contains how many genes? Thousands of genes contains. Keep it in mind always. One single chromosome contains thousands of genes. Hundreds of characters we are getting. Thousands of characteristics we are getting. Everything from our parents. How it is? By contributing the equally. That is what the both parents contribute equally to the DNA of progeny during sexual reproduction. So one chromosome contains thousands of genes. That is what you have to remember. Okay, everybody? All of you? Please respond. So both parents contribute the copy of the same gene. Then what will happen? So after that, fertilization occurs. During the meiosis process, after fertilization, so a gamete, you can see it is a male gamete or female gamete. You can see the male gamete receives only one chromosome of a pair. Do you understand, everybody? Mitosis means cell division will take place, so number of cells will form. Now I am speaking about meiosis. So meiosis, basically, whenever the gamete is forming, suppose a father, male and female will release the egg and male will release the, what they will release? Everybody, sperm. So the sperms and eggs, which we used to call it as, both together, what we used to call? Male gonads and female gonads, or female sex cells, male sex cells, or we can say everything together, what we used to call it as? Everybody? We used to call it as a gametes. Understand, all of you? So now, during the meiosis process, a gamete only receives one chromosome of a pair. Basically, entire father, every character is having one pair of gene, but formation of gamete, so gamete will receive only how many chromosomes, guys? Only, sorry, how many genes? Only one chromosome of a pair. So that is what is most important thing. So gametes, the sex cells contains only one particular gene of a particular character. So each gamete has only how many alleles? One allele of the pair or two? Everyone? Only. Please respond. Each one, sperm is having, for example, if I take a tall. So tall, the sperm is having a one gene and egg is having one gene. So both will fertilize. Then regarding the tallness, what will happen, guys? They will restore the normal number of chromosomes. Do you understand, everybody? Abhirami, Harish, all of you? Basically, if I take a father, for every character, for every trait, how many genes are present, everybody? Pair of gene is present. Do you understand it? So pair of genes are present. Now, when he is forming the gametes, basically gametes also we can call something. Can you tell me? Sex cells also we can call it as a germ cells. So when he is forming the germ cells, meiosis process will take place. So whenever he is meiosis means he will form the what? Sperm. So when he form the sperm will receive only one allele for each character. So like that, mother also only will receive one allele for each character. So both the two germ cells will combine. That is what male and female germ cells will combine. Male sex cell and female sex cell will combine and they will form the what? Single cell. What is that after fertilization? We used to call it as, everybody? Fertilization. Zygote. So zygote again what? For each character. Zygote means baby, offspring, progeny. So zygote contains what? For each character. Anybody can tell? Suppose if I take a tallness, how many alleles will be there? Again, two alleles will come. Purima, understand, everybody? So one is from what? One allele from father, another allele from mother. So now my question to you guys. So gametes containing how many genes for each character? Everybody. Two alleles or one allele or a pair of allele? Everybody? Only one single allele will be present in the gametes. Male gamete will donate only one allele and female gamete also will donate only one allele during the formation of sex cells. Then after combining, it will restore the normal number of chromosomes. Two alleles for each character, so that the DNA, the stability of the DNA of the species remains like it will ensure the stability of DNA. So that is how the progenies, how the offsprings are getting the characters from parents. So basically, parent having each character, they're having a pair of gene. Mother also, each character, they're having a pair of gene. But when they're forming the gametes, sex cells, So the gamete will receive how many guys? One allele or pair of allele? Everyone, that is what is my question. One allele or pair of allele? Only one allele it will be having for each character. So once they will form the zygote, so zygote, one allele from father, one allele from mother gamete, so that again they will get the two alleles for each character. So that is how it will be happen. So that is the actually the DNA of the species, how it will be transferred, how they will be getting stability is in this way only. So the characteristics travel from parents to the offsprings only in the form of what? Everybody? Genes on chromosomes. Genes on chromosomes. So each chromosome contains hundreds of genes. So they are being transmitted physically. So that is why genes we used to call it as a basically on a physical basis of heredity. So physical basis of heredity we used to call it as. That is how we are getting the characters or traits from our parents to us. Whatever the characters you are having, it is from father and mother. They are having, your father you take, he is having a characters of his mother and his father. Your mother you take, she is having a characteristics of her mother and her father. So all of you keep it in mind. So germ cells or sex cells, they contains only single allele for each character or pair of allele for each character. Everybody, yes, please. Single character or pair of alleles for single character. Germ cells alone, I'm asking. Everyone. Single gametes contains only single. Please remember, each gamete has only one allele of the pair of alleles for a characteristics. Once they combine, zygote is having again pair of allele. Pair of allele. That is what I'm saying. Are you clear, Amma? What I'm saying? Everyone? Nimish? Aswin? Hasini? Any doubt? Anybody can ask me. So that is what I am asking. So your father is having pair of allele for each character. Your mother is having pair of allele for each character. But when they are forming the sperm, when they are forming the egg, your egg is only carrying all the genes of your mother, all the characteristics of your mother. That sperm is only deciding all the characteristics of fathers. So when they are forming the male sex cell, male gamete, male germ cell, and mother is forming the female germ cell, by the time the formation undergoes meiosis process, by the time the sperm will receive only one allele, only single allele for each character. That is what I am saying. So each trait, only one allele will receive. That allele is what? Maybe dominant allele, or maybe it is a dominant allele, or what it is that? Everybody. Maybe it is a recessive allele. Do you understand, everyone? And mother is also same way, it will donate to the egg only single allele. That is maybe a dominant one or recessive one. So once they both will fertilize, they will get the single fertilized egg. That fertilized egg only we used to call it as a what? Everybody? Zygote. So, but zygote contains what? Zygote again contains what? Normal, that is what? Normal number of chromosomes. Normal number of chromosomes, because mother one only and father one only. So for each trait, how many pairs will be present? One pair of gene is present in zygote. That is the concept. It is present in the transmission of traits. I hope you all understand. Anybody doubt, you can ask me. Harish, clear, Harish? Hare Krishna?
Yes, sir.
So again, I'm asking the same question. So in a germ cells, how many alleles are present for each characteristics? Everybody? Only one allele of the pair of alleles. Okay. So after combining, then it will be coming to the pair. That is what you have to remember. Okay. So This is what is about genes. So who is the responsible for transmission of traits? Everybody? Who is responsible for transmission of traits? All of you?
Gene.
Gene. So gene is the unit of chromosome of DNA who is responsible for transmission of characteristics from parents to the offsprings. That is what you have to remember. Okay, guys, everybody? All of you? Yes, please. Now, let us comes to the lower organism. As I said, humans are, we can take it like humans, cows, you can take buffaloes, giraffes, lions. These all are ways to call it as same. We all people are ways to say, basically, we all are having this same method of reproduction. So we will produce only in this way only. The characteristics will transmitted from this way only. That is why for each character, one pair of allele will be there. That is what we used to say diploid organisms. So every organism, what you are seeing in our surroundings, like a dogs, cats, okay, this all. But there is organisms who are actually little lower than the animal humans. That is what in that animals, how the sex will be determined, either it is a male or a female, because environmental conditions will decide that. So sex determination in lower animals. So this is the most crucial. Entire environmental will decide the male or female. See, for humans, sex cells will decide the male or female because we are all higher order organisms. For lower order organisms, if you take the most of the sexually reproducing organisms, male and female reproductive organs are present separately, if you take basically. But different animals have different method of sex determination. It is not like humans, everything. So some animals, for example, turtles. How many of you know turtles? Turtles, Therima? Sea turtles. Please respond, all of you. So turtles, if you have taken, next one you can say Cremias picta. This is also one of the sea animal. So these animals, if you have taken, so they do not, sex cells won't decide either it is a male or female. Basically, the temperature during the time of fertilization of eggs determines the sex. So how important it is, see that. The temperature during the fertilization, how the nature, environmental temperature during, please note it, temperature during the time of, book NCERT, you can see that, time of fertilization of eggs determines the sex. For example, if the eggs are incubated or hatching, whatever it is, if the eggs are incubated at lower than 28 degrees Celsius, means the environmental temperature is less than 28 degrees Celsius, then keep in mind, basically, we will produce male. Understanding? So male turtles will come. And if the temperature is over 33 degrees above, then female turtles will form. Have you noticed that? Temperature will decide either it is a male or female. That is the importance of environmental conditions. If I take honeybees, we all know honeybees, you might be studied that one single Rani honeybee is having millions of male bees. So basically, honeybees, males are actually haploids while females are diploids. So diploid means you can see that. So like we can see chromosomes are paired, everything. Haploid means single basically. So that is also will decide male or female will decided by the chromosomes, haploid or diploid. So noted that words diploid